MLA Timothy Gaston with us this morning. Morning, Timothy.
Morning, Stephen.
So, look, your party will be gloating, no doubt, will be happy, no doubt, that there is division in the executive. That's what you want, but why not have a climate change commissioner which can set specific targets for Northern Ireland?
And that's where the problem is, Stephen. Let's put this in context. This is what we've been told is a minimum of £1 million, where this commissioner will have 15 staff and create an empire, which I believe will create bureaucracy and a lot more red tape for our business and our agri industry. And I have major concerns. I don't believe we need a climate commissioner. I do believe it's a duplication of what's already there on a UK-wide basis. And to prioritise this, yes, I understand it's in legislation, but to prioritise this at a time when we're told there's no money for X, no money for Y, no money for Z, and waiting lists are an all-time high, I think is misguided.
But you're not telling me why a commissioner able to specifically bespoke decisions and targets to Northern Ireland would not be a good thing.
But that's where we have that this is a duplication. We already have access to the Climate Change Committee, which advises the Office of Environmental Protection in Westminster.
Advises, Timothy.
Yeah, well, Stephen, let's look at it. Northern Ireland is the first region in the UK that believes that we need our own climate commissioner. My goodness, the targets that Stormont set when it was rushing out the door at the end of the last
Wales has one,
never
Timothy.
been met.
Wales has one.
Well, they're telling us that this will be the first one in the UK. That's all the information that's come forward to us, both that was discussed yesterday and when it was in committee. That's what officials were saying. There was even MLAs, taking this as a real positive, that Northern Ireland knows best and we'll be the first in the UK to have our very own climate commissioner. But I believe the ramifications that this person will cost to business and to our agri-industry will be far-reaching, and I believe it will not be good for our economy.
Wales has a Future Generations Committee. It has an annual budget of £1.5 million.
My goodness. I'm of the position. I come from the sphere that looks at it that there's climate changes. That's what happens. There's climate cycles. If we look back to the Vikings, they had the medieval warm period, but the periods where the Thames is frozen for a number of years. So to me, there's a lot of this is natural. And to know
do you
that
believe in
better,
climate? Do you believe in man-made climate change?
What I do believe in.
You're going back to the medieval period. Do you believe
What I believe, Stephen, is that every one of us has a responsibility to steward our environment and hand it on to the generation in better shape than we got it. That's what I believe, and I believe there's a lot of the things that's happening now today are because of the natural climate cycles that we have. Like I put it to
natural climate cycles. Do you think pollution and man-made pollution and how we are living on this planet and how we're not caring for this planet, are you saying that you do not think that is contributing to climate change?
Well, let's look at pollution, and this was one of the things that put out, and John Blair came back responding in an intervention yesterday. So he was saying that there's Lough Neagh, the temperature in Lough Neagh has went up 1%. That's a contributing factor, right? That's all very well and good, but let's look at Lough Neagh. There's no chat of when we're talking about this climate change of the tons upon tons, thousands of tons of sewage that we are pumping into Lough Neagh, which is a contributing factor to the rise in temperature, which is a contributing factor to the poor water quality, which is a contributing factor to blue-green algae. Yes, we're looking at getting a climate commissioner, but what about getting our own house in order? That's the Department of Infrastructure that oversees Northern Ireland Water. And my goodness, they're the ones that's pumping raw sewage into Lough Neagh that's contributing to a lot of our problems.
Timothy, I know you need to go to a meeting, so thank you very much.